Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. I'm Eric and I like to read, and today I'm going to be doing my July wrap up. I haven't put out a video in a while because I've been on vacation mode. I took the whole first week of August off to just celebrate and relax because my birthday was like the beginning of that week, and then I had a bunch of vacation time, so I just wanted to have a relaxing little bit of summer. And it's been great. I've been doing absolutely nothing, and I've been loving it. I've been enjoying just relaxing, waking up, having my coffee whenever I want. Sorry, I don't know why my lighting's all going all weird, but yeah, just having a coffee whenever I want, reading whenever I want, nice relaxing mornings, doing whatever I want in the afternoons. It's been wonderful. And so I've been having a great time. But, anyways, I figured I should share my thoughts on the books that I read in July since it's been a little while. So, yeah, let's just jump into it. The first one I read was a graphic novel called Batwoman Hydrology. And this one, I think I gave this one a 4 out of 5 stars. It was very action packed, and I liked the gritty style of narrative that it was told in, and the art is also phenomenal in this one. It definitely follows Batwoman and her sidekick. I didn't even know Batwoman had a sidekick, to be honest, but she's in this one, so that's very evident. And so like I got to see a little bit of her too, and then it also shows like Batwoman's kind of rapport with Batman as well. So he makes an appearance at one point. But yeah, it was pretty good. It was interesting to see like the villain of this one because the villain is it's kind of like a water ghost that steals children away. Um, yeah, I don't know if I can't remember if it came to a resolution in this one or it's gonna like continue on. But yeah, it was definitely an interesting villain and one that is not typically like one of the main ones that you encounter. So I thought that was a lot of fun. I also read The Last Murder at the End of the World. I have a full dedicated video to this as a reading vlog because I did it for the Once Upon a Book Club book box subscription. So I read this. I believe I gave it a 4 out of 5 stars. It was a pretty intense mystery. And for those of you that don't know, this is following characters who are there's like I think 100 people left on this island, and there's this mysterious fog that has like come through and kind of like killed everything in its path. But this island has a way of like keeping the fog from getting into the island, and there's only 3 remaining scientists left. And so they have this little community on this island, but then one of the scientists are murdered, and they realize that the fog has started like encroaching on the island, and so they have to figure out what's going on and how to stop it. And yeah, it was a fun journey reading this with the Once Upon a Book Club book box subscription because they have like little gifts that you can open as you're reading the book that kind of like cater to the book's plot, and it just like it's another layer of like making you feel like you're a part of this book. So it was a really cool experience. But yeah, like I said, full review for this one is in that video. So go check that video out if you want to see more of my in-depth thoughts on this book. The next one I read was Escaping First Contact by Tina Bear. I finally got to this book. I've had this on multiple TBRs, so I'm so excited to say that I finally finished it. I would give this one a 4 out of 5 stars. It's a good start to a trilogy. It's not exactly what I was expecting. I was kind of going into it thinking it was going to be more like horror-ish vibes. And I mean, there are certain horrors that appear in the book, but I wouldn't say it's like a full-on horror vibe. It's more of like a ragtag group of a bunch of different alien species come together to work together as a team and kind of like solve the mystery of this ship. And so like I guess if you don't know, the premise is they're sent out to this team is sent out to this ship to investigate, but then ends up getting trapped within the ship, and they kind of have to like navigate through the ship's like puzzle of like a maze of hallways and stuff like that, and they encounter things along the way. I can't remember the main character's name. Well, I wouldn't even say there was a main character because it keeps flipping perspectives from all the different species of this ragtag group. So you get to see like all of their different perspectives. And I wouldn't say there's like one necessarily key main character, but the Terran female sergeant, I can't remember her name, but I really liked her. And I wrote a review for it saying that like I can't really claim a favorite yet because there's still 2 more books in the series, and all these characters kind of developed along the way. So there's definitely room for me to like somebody else more as a favorite. So I haven't really designated one specific character as my favorite yet. I want to read more in the series to find out who's going to take that spot. But I did really enjoy the relationships that were built through the characters going through these struggles within the ship and the different things they encountered. And I'm very curious to see where it goes from here. It gave me vibes of like Firefly mixed with Event Horizon. So if you like those things, then this might be something you would vibe with. Then the next book that I read was a NetGalley book, and that was When She Was Me. This one was on my NetGalley TBR, and I decided to just jump into it. This one was a thriller, and it was set in I would say more of like an isolated setting, because these 2 twin sisters, they live in a cabin on this like remote campground where there's only, I think, 3 camp spots. One of them is the person that owns the campground. The other one is a cabin for rent, and then their cabin that they rent like year round. And so the 2 of them live here, and you can tell that like the story opens up showing that something definitely happened in their past that forced them to come out and live in this remote space, but they're so accustomed to it. And you keep switching between perspectives of the sisters. So you're kind of getting like both sides of the story as it goes. And so what happens is a family ends up coming and staying at the cabin across from them. And then the daughter of that cabin ends up going missing. And so the whole book is kind of like centered around like what happened to her. And there's a whole bunch of like suspects. And so you're trying to like figure out who did it, if like said thing was done. And yeah, it's very intense. I ended up giving this book, I think I gave it a 4 out of 5 stars. Yeah, I gave 4 out of 5 stars. It was just really good because the whole time, like, you don't really know who to trust. It's kind of set up to be like an unreliable narrator because both sisters are so different, but like they also are twins, and they kind of blend together at some parts where they act similar, but they have different personalities to them. So like sometimes you don't know if it's one sister talking, and then there's also this past voice that you don't know which of the sisters it is. So there's this past voice talking about things that happened that kind of drove them to where they are now, and this whole time you're kind of like trying to figure out like which one of the sisters is the one telling this like past narrative. So yeah, all I can say is the ending was quite shocking. Like I didn't expect that. And I love when things like that happen where I'm just like thrown for a loop and don't know how I got there. But yeah, no, it was quite an intense ending, and something that was a lot of fun to kind of like try and piece through as I read the book. And also thrilling. Like the isolated setting definitely gave me the like heebie-jeebies, and there were some parts in there where I was like, oh my god, I would hate to be in this situation. So yeah, it was definitely a good one. And then the last book I read was Eat Your Heart Out, and this was another NetGalley TBR book. And this one I ended up giving a 3.5 out of 5 stars. So this is following a bunch of teens that are sent to what's essentially like a fat camp to lose weight. It's over the Christmas holidays, which I found kind of weird because like who would send their kids away on Christmas holidays? But they're all from like these very rich families, so I don't know if they think differently, but that's what they did. And so it follows them as they're like going to the camp and things that happen as they get there. So it's kind of fun though, because the way it opens up is like one character, it's in like a campy style because she's like kind of inner monologuing in her head about like how each of these teens going to this camp falls into like a character archetype. So there's like the final girl, the basket case, the courageous captain, and she's like giving those roles to different people. So I thought that was kind of funny. And then she explains like these roles and how they impact a storyline in regards to like as if it was a movie. Now this girl is also, she dreams of like making movies, so I guess this is just like her inner monologue of like her planning out how she would make this movie. But I found it very interesting and fun. And so these teens go to this camp, and along the way to the camp they get in a car accident on the path to the camp because some sort of creature runs past and like runs them off the road. So from there they like go from the car, they walk the rest of the way to camp. Things are kind of seeming like they're in disarray, and they realize that at this camp it's kind of more like a facility that's very like guarded and stuff, which is kind of weird for a camp because it's a camp. But there's like electric fencing, there's guards, so yeah, stuff's going down. And then as the book continues, you find out why the camp is this way and what that creature was, and it goes from there. So yeah, overall it was pretty good. I would say the book was very action packed. Like it kept a really strong pace throughout. But the reason I gave it a 3.5 is because I just wasn't happy with the ending. It does give you a resolution, but it's not like a satisfying resolution to me. I found that it was lacking a little bit, and it could have been, I don't know, they could have done more with that ending instead of kind of just like wrapping it up nicely with a little bow. They could have done more to make it better, I would say. But the pacing was really good. Like I flew through the book because it was just so easy to keep reading and reading to see what happened to these characters. And yeah, I had a good time with it. So 3.5. And yeah, those are all the books that I read in the month of July, and now I'm deep into my TBR for August, having a great time. But yeah, if you guys have read any of those books, then let me know in the comments down below, or if you had a favorite from July, then definitely put that there too. If you guys want to support me, I have a Patreon and a Coffee page, which I'll put in the description down below, as well as a link to buy my bookmarks. You guys know the drill. Don't forget to like and subscribe, hit that bell notification button so you get notified when I post new videos. I post my videos on Tuesdays and Thursdays. And until next time, keep on reading.